B.Ed first semester Pedagogy of English, Unit 1, Introduction to English Language Teaching. Subtopic: Language and Education Policy in India. The language is means through which a child contemplates the past, grasps the present, and approaches the future. It goes without saying that the language plays an important role in the mental, emotional, and social development of a person. So, English is a foreign language. It occupies a unique position in our country, whether we are at home, in the state, or out of it, in the country or away from it. English is important and it continues to hold a special status in our lives. The story of English in India goes back to Macaulay's Minutes of 1835. That was the time when the foreign plant of English was sown in Indian soil. He wanted to create a class of persons Indian in blood and color, but English is taste, opinion, morals, and intellects. He said that English stood prominent among the languages of West. English soon became the official language of Indian educational system and life till the attainment of independence in 1947. It was taught as the compulsory subject both at school and college levels. A reaction against the supremacy of English was noticed only after 1857 when India was swept by a violent anti-British feeling. This was the national awakening in the country, striving for independence. The first reaction of the people in independent India was to dethrone English from its position that it had enjoyed during the British rule. Thus, it received a hostile treatment not only at the hands of our political leaders but also some of our eminent scholars. The father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, was very critical of educating the Indians in English language because learning an alien language deprived them of their national respect and resulted in slavish behavior. All the political leaders turned against the educational system and condemned the study of English at the cost of mother tongue. As a result, the Indian Constitution in 1950 declared Hindi as the official language of the Indian Union. English language was to continue for a period of 15 years as an associate official language, that is till 1965. It was the intention of the central government to develop Hindi to such an extent that it could replace English during that period of 15 years. In the meantime, there developed a strong opposition by the southern states against the idea of replacing English by Hindi as the official language, where Hindi was thought to be more foreign than English for them. However, in view of the slow progress of Hindi, in 1963 the Parliament had to pass an act making English as the associate official language of India for an identified period. Despite the fact that English received a great setback after independence, it continues to be a major language having prestigious position in our society. In 1968, the national policy on education adopted by the Government of India stressed that special emphasis should be laid on the study of English and other international languages. World knowledge is growing at a tremendous pace, especially in science and technology. India must not only keep up this growth but also make her own significant contribution to it. For this purpose, study of English deserves to be strengthened. National Policy on Education 1968. National Policy on Education 1968 was broadly suggested two main points. First one, international languages. Special emphasis needs to be laid on the study of English and other international languages. World knowledge is growing at a tremendous pace, especially in science and technology. India must not only keep up this growth but should also make her own significant contribution to it. For this purpose, study of English deserves to be specially strengthened. The second point, three language formula. At the secondary stage, the state government should adopt the vigorously implement the three language formula, which includes the study of a modern Indian language, preferably one of the southern languages apart from Hindi and English in the Hindi speaking states, and of Hindi along with the regional language and English in the non-Hindi speaking states. Suitable courses in Hindi and or English should also be available in universities and colleges with a view to improving the proficiency of students in the base languages up to the prescribed university standards. National Policy on Education 1986. The 1986 National Policy on Education suggested few points. First one, languages. The education policy of 1968 had examined the question of the development of languages in great detail. Its essential provisions can hardly be improved upon and are relevant today as they before. The implementation of this part of the 1968 policy has however been uneven. The policy will be implemented more energetically and purposefully. Three languages formula. Different committees and commissions have given their suggestions to solve the language problem in the country. The CABE, Central Advisory Board of Education 1956, designed a three language formula and recommended it for the school children in 1961. It was approved by the Chief Ministers Conference. According to this formula, every student was required to study three languages. They are: first one, mother tongue or the regional language; second one, English; third language, Hindi for non-Hindi speaking areas. If mother tongue is Hindi, those students should learn another modern Indian language. In this context, let us examine the views of Kothari Education Commission 1964-66. Regarding language policy in India, according to the Commission, only the mother tongue or the regional language should be taught to the children studying from class 1 to 6th. Then, from class 5th to 7th, two languages with regional language and Hindi or English should be taught. Three languages, regional or Hindi and English, should be taught from 8th to 10th class. Thus, in our country, every child learns the mother tongue or regional language for 10 years, second language for 6 years, and third language for 3 years. The above discussion gives us a picture of English in the changed circumstances. Today, it does not enjoy the status it has enjoyed during the British regime. It does not mean that English has lost its importance. It will continue to be important for its role as link language for promotion of national integration, as a library language, as a window on the world. The University Education Commission 1948 in its report said, English, however, must continue to be studied. It is a language which is rich in literature, humanistics, scientific and technical. If under sentimental urges we give up English, we could cut ourselves off from the living stream of ever-growing knowledge. English is the only means of preventing isolation from the old. Now we discuss National Curriculum Framework 2005. English in India is a global language in a multilingual country. A variety and large of English teaching situations prevail here owing to the twin factors of teacher proficiency in English and pupils' exposure to English outside school. The level of introduction of English is now matter of political response to people's aspirations rather than an academic or feasibility issue, and people's choice about the level of its introduction in the curriculum will have to be respected with the provision that we do not extend downwards the very system that has failed to deliver. The goals for a second language curriculum are twofold: attainment of a basic proficiency such as is acquired in natural language learning, and the development of language into an instrument for abstract thought and knowledge acquisition through literacy. This argues for an across the curriculum approach that breaks down the barriers between English and other subjects and English and other Indian languages. At the initial stages, English may be one of the languages for learning activities that create the child's awareness of the world. At later stages, all learning happens through language. Higher order linguistic skills generalize across languages. Reading is a transferable skill. Improving it in one language improves it in others, while reading failure in one's own language adversely affects second language reading. English does not stand alone. The aim of English teaching is the creation of multilinguals who can enrich all our languages. This has been an abiding national vision. English needs to find its place along with other Indian languages in different states, where children's other languages strengthen English teaching and learning, and in English medium schools where other Indian languages need to be valorized to reduce the perceived hegemony of English. The relative success of English medium schools shows that language is learnt when it is not being taught as language through exposure in meaningful context. Thus, English must be seen in relation to other subjects. A language across the curriculum is of particular relevance to primary education, and later all teaching is in a sense language teaching. This perspective will bridge the gap between English as subject and English as medium. We should in this way move towards a common school system that does not make distinction between teaching language and using language as a medium of instruction. Input rich communicational environments are prerequisite for language learning, whether first or second. Inputs include textbooks, learner chosen text, and class libraries, allowing for a variety of genres, print, parallel books, and materials in more than one language, media supports, and authentic materials. The language environment of disadvantaged lands needs to be enriched by developing schools into community learning centers. A variety of successful innovations exist whose general legibility need exploration and encouragement. Approaches and methods need not be exclusive but may be mutually supportive within a broad cognitive philosophy. Higher order skills can be developed once fundamental competencies are ensured. Teacher education needs to be ongoing and on-site as well as preparatory proficiency and professional awareness are equally to be prompted. The latter imparted, however, necessary through the teacher's own languages. All teachers who teach English should have basic proficiency in English. Language evolution need not be tied to achievement with respect to particular syllabi, but must be reoriented to the measurement of language proficiency. Evolution is to be made an enabling factor for learning rather than an impediment. Ongoing assessment could document a learner's progress through the portfolio mode. National benchmarks for language proficiency need to be evolved preliminary to designing a set of optional English language tests that will balance curriculum freedom with standardization of evaluation that certification requires and serve to country current problems of English being a principal reason for failure at the class 10 level. A student may be allowed to pass without English if an alternative route for English certification can be provided outside the regular school curriculum. So, we strongly advocate an integrated approach to the teaching of different skills of language. The schools does need to pay special attention to reading and writing in many cases, particularly in the case of home languages. In the case of second and third or classical or foreign languages, all the skills including communicative competence become important. Children appear to learn much better in holistic situation that makes sense to them rather than in a linear and additive way that often has no meaning. Rich and comprehensible input should constitute the site for acquisition of all different skills of language. This is why it is important to view language education as everybody's concern at school and not as responsibility of the language teacher alone. Also, the foundational role of the skills associated with language does not stop with the primary or elementary classes but extends all the way up to secondary and senior secondary classes as new needs arise in the subject area. Thank you for watching.